Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDecks.
And I'm Sophie.
And we have brought our third edition of Demo Talk to you, where we play 3 demos available on the eShop of games that are not out yet, or sometimes we might go into ones that are out. But today we've got 3 games that not only are they not out, but they don't even have release dates.
Or prices.
So we have no idea when these games are coming out or what price they are, but they are available on the eShop and the demos are there. So, the first game we're going to talk about is Kung Fu Kickball, then the game called Gravity Heroes, and then finishing off with Cristales. So if you want to keep up with us, see how much we like these games and other demos in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the party, and let us know in the comments down below any demos for games on the eShop you think we should try next. So, the first game we're going to talk about, as I said, Kung Fu Kickball.
Yes, so this one doesn't have a release date, it says TBC.
TBC, yeah.
TBD.
Or TBD, yeah. It's sort of same sort of thing.
Yeah. It's been put on the Switch by Blowfish Studios. They also brought Whipsy and Moorfight and Stormboy.
Yeah, just a few other games they've put on there.
Yeah.
Just that they're sort of like the ones I've heard of, so they're probably the best known
I actually
out of the
have
ones.
Whipsy as well.
Yes, cool. So, what is Kung Fu Kickball then?
So it's a 2D football game, kind of. Maybe not football, it's like a...
Sort of, it's kind of, it's not football rules, but you are kicking a ball.
Yeah, I think kickball is an actual sport, so kickball. And you're just, kicking the ball into each other's sort of goal where there's a bell, and if you hit the bell, it rings, and then you score.
It's very simple to play game. It's just a few buttons you use, like you have one for jumping, one for kicking the ball, and you have one for crouching, which I did not find a use for that. And there's one for, you probably didn't even know that existed.
I didn't even know it,
yeah. And pressing A did this little warp thing, because it is Kung Fu as well, so the kicking doesn't apply to just the ball, it can apply to your opponents as well.
Yeah.
It's very simplistic. It put me in mind of the football mini-game in Rayman Legends, Kung Foot, funnily enough that's called.
Yeah.
So, but this was actually really fun to play.
Totally.
The characters moved very fast and they were very floaty in their jumps, but I quite liked that.
Yeah.
It was a bit hectic at times. So, there's a few modes in this game, and obviously just the demo, so it's not everything here. We had access to the arcade and versus mode. There is online play, but that wasn't available for the demo. So when you play versus mode, there were a few things that we noticed. First of all, you can't have CPU on in versus mode, which is strange because in the arcade mode there is CPU, so they've programmed CPU, why can't we have them in versus mode? And also, if you're registering the Joy-Cons, you can only play with a single Joy-Con.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, Sophie used the Pro Controller, and I was going to use the 2 Joy-Cons thing, but it wouldn't let me register, and there was even the cross on the thing saying it wasn't available. Why is it not available? Why do I have to use a single one? That was such a weird decision.
Odd, yeah.
So, how was the arcade mode?
It was really fun. You got several different stages that you don't get in versus mode available to you.
Yeah.
But it just sort of goes through it. So first you're doing it at the, I don't know,
temple I think it was.
I think, and then you go to the pyramids and then to somewhere else. And you don't have that available in versus mode. But one thing is that we played 2-player on the same team, obviously, but it was against a single CPU.
Yeah, like, because there was 2 of us, every single arcade mode battle was against one opponent, so it was, at the time we worked out a strategy that I could just beat up the opponent while you go and score the goals. Like, why was it not, if we're playing it in 2-player, why were there not 2 opponents?
But wasn't that apprentice mode? There was like 3 modes, apprentice,
teacher and master.
So maybe it will be like 2 and then 3.
Maybe. I don't know if there was possible to have 3 on the team in the
I don't know, but you know what I mean, like maybe it goes up as you go along.
I'd hope that there'd be 2 on the other team when you do the harder ones, even if you're on your own.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a really good challenge. And the levels are different. They have different layouts, and there are some hazards you can get.
Yeah, like in the pyramid, I guess the desert, there was like a sandstorm. It sort of harder to move through. It felt harder to move through. It might not have actually
And obviously
been hard.
the terrain was different as well with the angles, and there was like in the cavern one there was like a stalactite that could fall down and things like that. And so it was a very fun one. There's 6 arenas we could see on the level select screen. As we said, only one of them was available in this demo. 6 playable characters, but only 4 of them were playable in this demo, and they all played the same, so it's just an aesthetic thing, which gives potential to add loads of characters. That was good. So it looks very fun, but it's very basic. We don't know the price, as we said, but I'm thinking whether we get this or not depends on the price. I think if it's any more than £4.49...
Why £4.49?
Because that's a price that they put things at.
That's genuinely a price.
Oh yeah, it's always $49 or $99 usually.
Let's round it up to a £5. If it's a £5,
I wouldn't spend a £5.
but £4.49.
I'll spend £4.49. You've got to keep that 51 pence, obviously. Yeah, but if it's any more than a £5, then it's not worth it. But I can't see them charging more than that for what you're getting here.
No, definitely not.
Like, if this is like over a tenner, then this is one to avoid. But it's a fun little one to play with friends, and there is an online mode which is worth. Obviously, we don't know how that will work, but that is the first game we played the demo of.
So the next one was Gravity Heroes. Again, no release date, just says 2021. There's no price, obviously, and it's brought to Switch by P-Cube, who also did the Cat Quest games, Agalos, which Dave played recently, he really enjoyed.
Agalos is fantastic.
And All-Star Fruit Racing, which you also played.
Which is not fantastic, but it's a well-known game, so that's why I put that there.
Definitely.
But Gravity Heroes, out of the 3 demos we played today, this was my favourite.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to get this game no matter how much it costs. But I can imagine this being around the £10 mark, and I'd be happy to pay that. So what this is, it's an arcadey game. There's 3 modes. You've got your tutorial, your arcade mode, and your campaign. We went into the campaign mode. You can play up to 4 players in this, and it's a single screen shooter game where there's enemies appearing, and you just got to, in waves they come, and you just got to kill them all before you get killed yourself.
Cool.
Simple as that. You pull the trigger to shoot your gun. B, you press the jump, but then the main gimmick of this one is if you press the Y button plus a direction, you change the gravity for your character so you can go onto the walls.
Yeah.
So you can't shoot in any direction, you can only shoot in front of you, like Mega Man style.
Yeah.
But the whole strategy of this is you have to get yourself onto the correct wall to be able to shoot the enemies, and I thought it worked really well once we got the hang of it, because we skipped the tutorial,
so
it took us a while to actually work out
what's cool is that you can change direction in the air.
Yeah, so when you're in the air going up towards the ceiling, you can just press left and Y, and then you'll switch to that one. You can do some really cool navigating. Now, I would like to see an actual platform game use this mechanic. I don't know if any have.
Yeah.
There was a game called VVVVVV, which people know about, where you can flip up and down.
Okay.
But I'd like to see one where you can flip freely left and right as well.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Yeah, if you're playing co-op, you've got... if you die, you have a chance to come back to life.
Yes, and once you kill things, it leaves like a floating ball of energy.
Ball, yeah. So what you got to do, you've got to collect a couple of these balls of energy while you're a floating ball yourself.
Yeah.
After you die, and then this sort of like resurrection pod becomes available. And the weird thing is, you go onto it and it tells you to press B to use it, but pressing B is your dash move. You actually have to press A to use it.
Yeah, which is
strange.
strange.
So why they're telling you to press the wrong button is weird. You get these weapon drops every now and then, and it has one of my favourite shooter weapons of all time now, and that is the bouncy ball. You just shoot these loads of red bouncy balls that go all over the place, and it's really, really fun.
It is a good one.
Yes. So then there's the arcade mode, which contains this competitive mode on it, which we didn't actually try that one because we only sort of played for half an hour as a rule for this. And that seems to be straightforward. And then there's an arcade mode where you get given 30 seconds to get a high score, basically. Every time you kill an enemy, you get extra time added on and stuff like that. And if you die or if you run out of time, then it just gives you your score. So This one, I'm really looking forward to it. There was also a boss fight, wasn't there? This big thing with a shield.
A corrupted beetle type.
Yes, yeah, that was
thing.
what it was called, yeah. And that's where the whole platforming thing came, because it's like, it'd have the shield one side, and then it became a bit of a bullet hell at times.
Yeah.
And you sort of like flip upwards, then right, then down to get to the other side of him, and it worked so well. It's really difficult to do, but it's rewarding when you get it right.
Definitely.
And annoyingly, I was using a Joy-Con which was drifting, which wasn't fun.
Oh yeah, no.
So it's kind of like you need precision for this one. So that's cool. And you have 4 playable characters in that, I believe it was. So yeah, that one, really good one. Really looking forward to that one. I want to hear more about that in. Well, we've got another 10 months in which it can release.
Yeah,
so you know. Okay, so the last game we played.
So this one was Cristales. It's, again, 2021 release, no price, and it was brought to the Switch by Modus, who did Trine and Ninja.
So, this game, how did it start?
So it had like an anime-style opening, and Mission Impossible-style music as well.
And I actually loaded this game up a second time, and that opening was unskippable.
No way?
Yeah.
Oh, God. So... no opening cutscene. You go straight into sort of tutorial mode.
Yeah, you're straight into the middle of a battle when this starts, so
and it's
with a bang.
RPG turn-based battle, so, you press, on the person you want to hit, and then you press A to do that.
You press A, yeah.
And then you've got similar sort of battle to what happens in South Park, where you press at the right time.
The stick of truth.
Yeah, and it like.
And sort of Paper Mario has that as well. The original Paper Mario. And the Bug Fables as well. Like you got to press. But there's no prompts like Paper Mario or Bug Fables has.
No.
But like if you just press it when you at the right time to either get a better defense or better attack.
Yeah, the only thing with those A presses is just there wasn't a really good enough tell to when to do it.
You just sort of have to work out yourself.
Yeah.
But I do like about this these battles is I know it's only a little thing and you know it anyway. At the top of the screen it has the pictures of the people telling you what order the turns are going to be in.
That would be good,
I really liked that. On this beginning bit though, the loading screens were really long.
Yeah, they were.
But in the actual gameplay they were really short.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have them be long in the cutscenes and short in the gameplays. You're switching between locations quite frequently.
And what's weird is that it seemed to be a really short battle, and then it just cut off.
It's like
all of
this
a sudden.
boss appeared,
and
you start fighting, then it just cuts into like this bit. It's kind of like
it's like a flashback, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's like that bit shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Like, and it didn't really make. It wasn't like. Like 1 hour earlier or something, because this battle we did at the beginning came back at the end of the demo.
Yeah.
So, and there was no reason for us to have already done that.
Yeah, no.
Really. So anyway, we'll go back to the town bits. This was the majority of the demo was exploring this town.
Yeah, so you go into a peaceful town. You start off at the orphanage. There's this mother superior type person who must be like, the person who overlooks. I don't think she's the actual mother. Yeah, so she's like a nun. And
it's near a cathedral, isn't it?
Yeah, so a frog steals your rose, and
a frog with a top hat.
Yeah, a frog with a top hat, a bit like but it
like the Looney Tunes one. Hello, my baby.
That's
that one.
Yeah. So you follow this frog, and you're asking people where they've seen a frog in a top hat, and they're just like, "Okay, hon, you're okay."
Yeah. So it's kind of like the typical sort of action RPG sort of towns. For you sort of go talk to this person, they'll tell you where to go next, that sort of thing. It's very fully voice acted.
Yeah, everyone has their own voice.
Yeah, like every time you talk to someone in this demo anyway, whatever text box came out was fully read out by an actor.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? That's the most interesting thing I'll hear all day.
So that was cool. It wasn't like sometimes it's just a grunt or a one word said. What do you think of the art style?
It's so pretty. It looks like you're in like Holland, with the style of dresses.
Yeah, it looks like it's set there maybe.
The fields and the flowers. It just there's
a lot of windmills in the background as well.
Was there? I didn't see that. But in Spider-Man,
Spider-Verse.
No, the one, the second one.
Spider-Man 2.
No, with Tom
Far
Holland.
From Home.
Far From Home, where he goes to Holland.
Tom Holland.
Was it actually that?
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and all those flowers. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh
and I was
yeah,
like,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
and like the way she runs, she's like holding her skirt and running, and it just
Yeah.
looks really pretty.
I quite liked how layered it was. It was, like I said, it was
Yeah.
Paper Mario I brought up in the turn-based, but the way you got these 2D flat characters navigating a 3D plane was very much like the how the old Paper Marios looked, because back then they weren't really made of paper and character.
Yeah.
It's just they were made to look like it, but then they brought it into the the whole that everyone was aware of it later on. But it's kind of like in the South Park RPGs as well, where you got these 2D flat characters navigating a 3D plane as well.
Yeah.
It's like you go through that cornfield and it's layered and it looks
That
really
was
good.
awesome, yeah.
Imagine on the 3DS this would have looked great.
Absolutely. Everyone has their job titles in their names. So
Yeah, it's
it was like
Carpenter Joe.
Carpenter Joe, which is hilarious. And then Farmer something, I can't remember. Farmer Robert.
And
Apothecary June.
And Secretary something as well. Like.
And we don't like her. She was mean.
Yeah.
So let's. Oh yeah, another thing. The frog has stitches.
Oh yeah, it looks like he's been
like
stitched.
a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's like so let's talk about the main gimmick of this game, and that is the time crystals.
Yes, so you go into the cathedral, this triangle shines on you, and basically it reveals a dimension. On the stained glass window, you've got this...
it looks like you, they said.
Yeah, past, present and future on the stained glass window, and that's what it is basically. The triangle shines onto you, and then it reveals a new dimension of past, present and future. And they're like the time crystals. And you can see...
Just basically as you play, there's this triangle going down the middle of the screen, which you're seeing in this video now.
Yeah.
And on the left of this triangle is the past, the middle is the present where you are, and on the right is the future.
Yeah.
And it's such good... So if you move from like left to right, you'll see there'll be a person in the left who's a child, and then when you go past them, there'll be an adult while you're near them. Then when they go into the third triangle, they're an old person.
Yeah, or if they're old in the present,
they'll be gone,
not there anymore.
Yeah.
It's just really, it's quite nice. I like it.
It's a very nice aspect from a gameplay point of view as well, because she will see houses that have decayed in the future bit. So she'll go and warn the carpenter, this house is going to decay in however many years it is. And he says, how do you know that? He goes, it looks all right. He goes, well, it's rotten from the inside. How would you know that? So then you can send the carpenter to repair it from the inside. So then
you do, don't you? You get you go and...
you get to the apothecary person.
Yeah, and she tells you what you need. And then you go and get the fruit that you planted a tree in the present. And to get into there, you press X. And then the frog goes
into the past or
the future. And like in the past he's a tadpole, and in the future he's just like a really old fat looking frog.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
And like there's another, this comes into gameplay because it's like the apothecary person can't remember which mushroom is which.
Yeah.
So the frog goes into the past for when the apothecary's father had labelled the bottles. And then he can see what they're labelled as and then tell us, and then we find out where the label's gone because the kids have stolen it. So it plays into it. You got to go into the past and future to find clues about what's happened and what will happen.
It's quite cool though, because we talked to pretty much everyone before we got to that bit, and then when that came up you were like, oh, the kids had the sticker.
Yes, definitely. And we were like, when we said about the houses are going to decay, I was like, oh, the carpenters that way. And the fact that they've got their job titles helps you remember where they are.
Which is really good to have.
Really liked that.
Then there's a fire at the farm. It's goblins.
Yeah. You get a sword.
Yeah, you meet this guy called Wilhelm, or a person called Wilhelm, and they open the door for you, and you go and get the sword. I didn't really read the story at that point. I just went and got the sword, and then came out and go to the farm. Oh yeah, and you get a change in hairstyle. It's like you've gone into like another dimension or so. Well, obviously,
got an anime
properly. And then you start battling, and then all of a sudden Christopher arrives, who's in the cutscene at the start on the trainee.
You notice that the main characters have Cris in their name.
Yeah, Cris Bell, Christopher. And it's like the start of the demo.
Yeah, and it's like there was no reason for us to have already experienced that battle
Yeah.
before at the beginning. It could have just led to this, and I think I would have enjoyed it a bit more.
Yeah, of course.
You know, because I was confused, going, "What's going on here?"
Maybe they thought, oh, they might not sit through all that story.
Yeah, it's kind of like, but then it needed to present it better, like.
Yeah.
Here's what happened before, like
Yeah,
1
like
hour
a
previously or something
a
like that.
flashback
But
would be
it
cool.
wasn't clear that the battle just sort of cut in the middle to the town bit, and it's like without any. Maybe the
It was like,
final
what
game
just
will.
happened?
Maybe the final game will present it
Yeah,
better. But
for sure.
okay, so the battling we've already described. It works well, just like RPG, but this is sometimes a deal breaker for me. But I hate it in turn-based RPGs
Yeah.
where you can't see the enemy's health bar.
Yeah, because we were just doing the same attack on the
The shielded one.
two twin bad ladies, and
Not knowing if how far we were from
yeah,
finishing.
and then it
but-
turns out we had to throw the water, which they did tell us, but we're really
Yeah,
we
what you
don't
do
like
is
to read.
you can change the time in the battle
Oh,
using the
yes.
crystal, and so you can make
Make it future, so
so that the shield's rusty.
Yeah.
And then you throw the water on it to break it a bit, and
yeah.
it works like that. But it's hard. It's hard to play these turn-based RPGs. I know Paper Mario didn't show you the enemy's health bar, but later on, you could buy a badge that let you see them.
Yeah.
So there was that, but maybe in this game you can eventually get to see the health bar. I really hope so.
That
But
would be good.
I don't like it when you can't see the enemy's health.
Yeah, that was
Um,
annoying.
I mean, the Gravity Heroes let you see the enemy's health bars.
Yeah, that was good.
So,
I really
all
liked
of
that.
them, so that's good.
And and there was just like so the baddies leave after that. They you don't kill them; they just leave.
Yeah. We
And
stopped
then-
recording by this point.
Yeah, we
but,
did.
So we were like, we'd done our half an hour, but then it kind of felt like it was the end of the demo anyway, so we thought, well, let's just see if this is the end.
Yeah, and then they you go to the cathedral because your secretary whatever was like, get her, she did this, and then you go to the cathedral and basically you're saying, oh, we have to stop the goblins or whatever, or volcano twins, whatever they're called, and yeah, and then there's such a dramatic end to the demo because Mother
Superior
Superior's
was like-
like, please bring her back home.
She was like praying to the god,
Yeah, and
wasn't
there's
she?
this,
Like,
oh my gosh, it was
Yeah.
like proper dramatic. I felt like it was
yeah, and
stuff was
it
about to go
kind of
down.
went up and it said the title of the game, so that's obviously like the prologue we played
yeah.
in this demo, and there wasn't any saving I could tell, so I'm guessing it doesn't carry the save file over, but I'm guessing there's changes they're going to make, but the actual gimmick of travelling between the time periods was really interesting.
Yeah, I really liked
and
it.
I really want to know more about it. I just hope the battling's a bit. I mean, the battling was good.
And I
You're
really
wrong.
like the characters are really pretty to look at. I really like it.
Yeah, the art style's fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's also a Colosseum mode which seemed to have a boss rush in it, from what I could tell.
Yeah.
Like you could play bosses again, and it said it would be harder difficulty. So
Cool.
that's pretty cool. So what was your favourite of those 3 demos? I liked all 3.
I didn't enjoy the Gravity Heroes as much as you did.
Yeah, that was my favourite.
Yeah,
Gravity
and
Heroes.
cristales I thought was really nice, but I had the most fun with the Kung Fu Kickball.
Yeah, that was I'd say if it is £4.47, I'm dropping the price. Then I think that would be worth getting from what we've played. But
Yeah. How much do you think Gravity Heroes would be?
I think it could be about £11.99 sort of price.
Yeah, and I reckon
I think that's-
£20 for.
Yeah, I
For
think it depends
crystals.
how big. I'm guessing it'll be a length for the adventure. So I think in the 20s
Yeah,
for
yeah.
crystals, which I don't know if I'd get it for that price, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't see it being less than 20. But yeah, I'd say Gravity Heroes maybe about £12. But no, the kickball one, if it's more than a £5, I don't think it's going to be worth it.
No, that's true.
So that's our opinions on the 3 demos. All good games. If they're correctly priced, they'll all be worth getting, from what we can tell.
Definitely.
So it all comes down to price, really. But Gravity Heroes, I definitely want to get, even if it's like £100. Don't quote me on that.
No.
So so those were the 3 demos. So what did you guys think of it? Have you tried them before? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, make sure you subscribe if you want to keep up with us in the future, and also hit that like button. That'd be very nice as well. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. See you in the next one.
Goodbye.